Nikon has recently made waves in the camera world with the registration of a mysterious new model under the code N2410. While there's no official announcement yet regarding the camera's name, design, or specifications, the fact that it has passed through wireless certification signals that Nikon is likely preparing to unveil something significant soon. For those of us keeping a close eye on the brand, this marks an exciting development. The camera's support for dual-band Wi-Fi, including 5 GHz, further piques our interest, especially since such features are rarely found on entry-level models like the Z30. This particular detail makes it seem as though this could be a serious, high-performance camera. So, what exactly is the N2410, and what can we expect from Nikon's next move? At this point, we're all asking the same question: what is this camera? To understand what Nikon might be up to, it's important to look at the broader context of their recent releases. Nikon just launched the Z63, a hybrid camera with solid video upgrades and a refreshed design. This was followed by the quieter release of the Z5 II, which introduced decent updates at an attractive price point. But when we look at the model number of the N2410, it doesn't quite line up with anything we've seen before. This leaves us with several possibilities. By comparing the N2410's model number to those of previous releases, we start to notice a pattern. The ZF had the model code N2137, the Z63 was N2214, the Z5 II came in as N2326, and now we have the N2410. This new code places it in a newer category, which points to the potential of a big upgrade. This brings us to some very plausible guesses. The first and most obvious possibility is the Z7 III, a long-awaited successor to the Z7 II. It's been nearly 5 years since the Z7 II was released, and in the fast-moving world of camera technology, that's a long gap for an enthusiast or professional line to remain static. Most major camera brands refresh their pro and enthusiast level models every 3 to 4 years, so the Z7 III feels like a strong contender. The Z7 II was praised for its 45.7 megapixel sensor, dual processors, and 4K 60 video recording. If the N2410 turns out to be the Z7 III, we can expect a new sensor that provides even better performance, possibly a stacked or BSI backside illuminated sensor for faster readouts, enhanced low light capabilities, and improved dynamic range. With these improvements, the Z7 III could potentially eliminate rolling shutter effects, offering sharper images with faster processing. It's likely that the autofocus system would also see major improvements, particularly with subject detection and tracking, a feature Nikon upgraded significantly in the Z63. Enhanced autofocus capabilities would help the Z7 III compete directly with other high-resolution cameras in the market, especially when shooting moving subjects like birds, animals, or vehicles. The Z7 III could potentially be the hybrid camera many have been waiting for, offering a perfect balance between high-resolution stills and strong video performance. Speaking of video, the Z7 III is expected to elevate Nikon's video capabilities, especially with features like 6K internal RAW video recording and 4K at 120 frames per second for slow-motion footage. If these features make their way into the Z7 III, Nikon could present a solid competitor for those looking for both high-end stills and pro-level video. It's also possible that we'll see features like waveform monitoring and improved codecs, which could bring the Z7 III closer to a more professional, cinema-level experience, even though it's not a dedicated cinema camera. Design-wise, the Z7 III would likely retain a similar body style to the Z63, but we expect improvements such as a better grip, a high-resolution electronic viewfinder, EVF, and a fully articulating screen for vlogging and creative angles. The Z7 III could be the ideal camera for hybrid shooters, those who primarily shoot stills but require solid video capabilities without needing a full-on cinema camera. There's another possibility, though, the Z9 II. This would be a more unexpected development but not entirely out of the question. The Nikon Z9, released in late 2021, shook up the camera industry with its impressive stacked sensor, 8K video recording, internal RAW capabilities, and burst speeds of up to 120 frames per second. The Z9 was designed for professionals who demand the best in stills and video, and it came in at a price point lower than many of its competitors. However, even with flagship models like the Z9, the typical refresh cycle is around 3 to 4 years. Therefore, it wouldn't be entirely surprising if Nikon is already working on the Z9 II as a follow-up to the Z9. If this turns out to be the case, we could see major upgrades in terms of resolution, potentially a 5.2 megapixel sensor, allowing for even more detail while still maintaining fast readout speeds and great low-light performance. This would be a significant improvement for both sports photographers and those shooting in studio environments, where detail and sharpness are crucial. In terms of video, the Z9 II could take things to the next level. The original Z9 already offered internal 8K recording, but we might see 8K at 60 frames per second in the Z9 II, along with better heat management, allowing for longer, uninterrupted shooting sessions. There could also be new pro-level features like ProRes RAW HQ and improved focus assists, making the Z9 II even more appealing for high-end filmmaking. The Z9 II's autofocus could also see massive improvements, especially in AI-powered tracking, making it even more responsive to fast-moving subjects or unpredictable scenes. If Nikon can make the Z9 II body more compact or lighter without sacrificing the pro-level build, it could appeal to a wider range of photographers and filmmakers who need a flagship camera but also require portability for on-the-go shooting. Now, what if Nikon surprises everyone and introduces something entirely new? The model code N2410 could be the beginning of a completely new product line, aimed at bridging the gap between the Z8 and Z63. This camera might be more video-centric, designed to compete with models like Sony's FX3 or Canon's R5C. Nikon has yet to introduce a dedicated video-first camera, and this new release could be their entry into that space. With 5 GHz Wi-Fi support and dual-band connectivity, this camera would be ideal for content creators who rely on external monitoring, wireless workflows, or cloud-based transfers. The compact size, full-size ports, and active cooling could all be features aimed at filmmakers who need reliable and efficient video capabilities in a mirrorless camera. Additionally, there's another detail worth noting: the registration of this camera was done through a Chinese wireless agency, not through Nikon's usual channels in Thailand. This could point to several things: either Nikon is expanding its production lines, or they could be targeting a specific market, perhaps focusing on Asia first. It might even be a test release for a new concept camera. While all of this is speculative, it hints at the possibility of a major shift for Nikon, especially as they compete with brands like Sony and Canon, who are already firmly entrenched in the hybrid and cinema markets. In conclusion, while we don't have many details about Nikon's latest model, the N2410, there's a lot of speculation about what it could be. From a potential Z7 III that would continue Nikon's tradition of high-resolution stills with solid video features, to a more powerful Z9 II that could take Nikon's flagship line to new heights, or even a brand new camera designed specifically for the hybrid or cinema market, the possibilities are exciting. Regardless of which direction Nikon chooses, one thing is certain: this new camera will offer pro-level performance, and it could shake things up in the photography and filmmaking industries. Now, all we can do is wait for the official announcement to see which direction Nikon decides to take.